Datta, Jai Guru Datta, Sri Guru 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 Datta.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Guru Datta and welcome to Datta Arpanam with your hosts Rishi Nirvan Baru
and Ravita Singh. Jai Guru Datta, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of His Holiness Parama Pujya Dr. Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji of Avadhuta Dattapitam in Mysuru. Today's program begins with the offering of pranams, gratitude and this invocation prayer at the sacred feet of beloved Sadgurudeva Pujya Shri Swamiji, as this show, possible only through His divine grace, is offered to him. Please join Pujya Shri Bala Swamiji now in worship.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gururdevo Maheshwarah, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Bhuyuta Shri Hari Chinnhitabhyam Agastya Rekhadi Bhiranchitabhyam Nigodha Bijakshara Mudritabhyam Namo Namah Sadguru Padukabhyam. Ganapati Gurumekam Satchidanandarupam Vibhudhanivahasevyam Yogamargadhirudham Sharanamupagatanam Sanghadrivajram Mama Hridaya Nivasam Bhaktinamro Namami, Bhakti Namro Namami.
Once again everyone, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to this morning's edition of Datta Arpanam. Today's program is being brought to you through the kind courtesy of Velini's Drug Mart Limited of 58-60 Sutton Street, San Fernando, Debe Supermart Limited of 182 SS Aaron Road, Debe, Coquier Supermart Limited of 14 Naparima Mayaro Road, San Fernando, and Samtron Insurance Brokers Limited of 1126 SS Aaron Road, Debe, and 225 Southern Main Road, Warrenville, Cunupia.
A few weeks ago on Datta Arpanam, study of the Dasha Avatara of Lord Vishnu began. So far, the Lord's incarnations as Matsya Avatara, Sri Krishna and Balarama have been discussed. Today, we move on to Kurma Avatara. And of course, when one thinks of the story of Kurma Avatara, another very important episode from our Hindu scriptures comes to mind, the story of the churning of the ocean. So stay tuned to Datta Arpanam, everyone, as today's episode is one you do not want to miss. And on that note, let us begin by worshipping Lord Ganapati. Please open the Bhajan Mala app or visit the website www.bhajanmala.com, enter Bhajan ID number 40 and join Pujya Appaji in singing the Pallavi and final Charanam of this bhajan revering Lord Ganapati, the son of Lord Shiva and the companion of Lord Subramanyam.
महादेवपुत्रं महासेनमित्रं महादेवपुत्रं महासेनमित्रं महानन्दनेत्रं महाविश्वगात्रं महाबुद्धिमन्तं महासिद्धितन्त्रं महानन्दनेत्रं महाविश्वगात्रं महाबुद्धिमन्तं महासिद्धितन्त्रं महात्मानमेकं गणेशं भजेम महात्मानमेकं गणेशं भजेम. करेणैकदन्तं भुजे नागभूषं शिरश्चन्द्रचूडं पदे रक्तवर्णं करेणैकदन्तं भुजे नागभूषं शिरश्चन्द्रचूडं पदे रक्तवर्णं मुखे मन्दहासं धरन्तं गणेशं मुखे मन्दहासं धरन्तं गणेशं कलौ सच्चिदानन्दरूपं भजेम कलौ सच्चिदानन्दरूपं भजेम. महादेवपुत्रं महासेनमित्रं महादेवपुत्रं महासेनमित्रं महानन्दनेत्रं महाविश्वगात्रं महाबुद्धिमन्तं महासिद्धितन्त्रं महानन्दनेत्रं महाविश्वगात्रं महाबुद्धिमन्तं महासिद्धितन्त्रं महात्मानमेकं गणेशं भजेम महात्मानमेकं गणेशं भजेम महात्मानमेकं गणेशं भजेम महात्मानमेकं गणेशं भजेम.
The Bhajan Mala app, an app which contains the words to the bhajan compositions of Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji, only identifies 4 of its bhajans as bhajans in the Gaula Ragam. That bhajan to which you just listened is one of them. What a beautiful ragam, what a beautiful bhajan. You are tuned in to Datta Arpanam on 103.1 FM. Today, the story of Kurma Avatara begins by first looking at the story of the churning of the ocean.
As the story you're about to hear is an extract from Srimad Bhagavatam, let us follow the instruction of Pujya Sri Swamiji, who has said that before reading Bhagavatam, one must chant this mantra remembering Naranarayana Maharishis, Goddess Saraswati and Sage Vyasa. Narayanam Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet.
Once, the demons, equipped with very sharp, powerful weapons, set out to war with the Devatas. During that war, many Devatas lost their lives. The three worlds, including heaven, which was ruled by Indra, lost all their prosperity. All yajnas, yagas, and other rituals came to a halt.
Seeing such a pitiable condition, Indra, Varuna, and all other Devatas had a meeting. Despite all their discussions though, they couldn't find a solution to this predicament, so they decided to go to Mount Meru and seek the help of Lord Brahma.
Approaching Lord Brahma, who was seated on Mount Meru, Indra, Varuna, and the other Devatas bowed to him and told him about everything that had happened.
Lord Brahma noticed that the faces of the Devatas had lost their luster. He saw that the worlds were filled with inauspiciousness and that the demons were thriving prosperously. He addressed the Devatas, saying, "Let us seek refuge under the Supreme Lord, who is the Lord for this entire universe. Devatas are very dear to him. He is the Guru for the entire creation. There is no doubt that he will bring happiness to us, his dearest devotees."
Having said this, Lord Brahma, together with all the Devatas, went to Vaikuntha. Once there, they prayed to the Supreme Lord, Sriman Narayana, saying, "O Lord, due to your will, whenever righteousness or dharma faces a setback, you manifest as different incarnations in order to fulfill the desires of your devotees. You destroy demons, a task which is impossible for us to achieve. O Lord, please tell us the method by which the Devatas and the saints can obtain relief."
Addressing them in a deep, thundering voice, the Lord said, "O Brahma, Maheshwara, Devatas, and Gandharvas, please listen closely. I will now tell you how you can obtain auspiciousness. Until you accomplish your goal, enter into a peace treaty with the demons who belong to the Danu Diti lineages. This time is extremely favorable to them. Agree to a truce with your enemies. After the successful completion of your mission, then resort to war and destroy them. For now, use the strength of the demons to become more powerful. When your strength and power surpasses theirs, then conquer them. O Devatas, without any delay, make arrangements for obtaining nectar. A living being who is caught in the trap of death escapes death by drinking nectar. There is no doubt about this. My dear Devatas, gather all the bushes, herbs, creepers, and grasses and throw them into the milk ocean. Use the mountain Mandara as the churning rod and the snake Vasuki as the rope to churn the ocean. Shedding all and any laziness, churn the ocean with all your might. I will help you in your efforts. The demons will join hands with you in obtaining the nectar. But the fruit of this entire activity will be gained only by you. My dear Devatas, for now just obey every demand of the demons without getting agitated. Indescribable objects will emerge from the milk ocean during the churning. Of those objects, give the demons whatever they want. Tasks can only be accomplished through peace and a friendly attitude, and never through anger. Bear this in mind. A terrible Kalakuta poison will be born from the ocean. Don't be afraid of it. During churning, when objects emerge, at no point should you develop greed, desire, or anger. Just relentlessly continue to churn the ocean, ignoring the objects.
After giving the Devatas these instructions, the Supreme Lord vanished from their midst. Lords Brahma, Rudra, and the Devatas offered obeisance to him and then returned to their respective homes.
Listeners, the story has only just begun, and already there are so many lessons emerging. It is like through the story of the churning of the ocean, our own minds are being churned. The nectar reaped on this occasion is the knowledge to help us to be better and more efficient individuals.
Actually, while we might be in the process of conducting a series on the Dasha Avatara, The truth is that the story of the churning of the ocean and the story of Kurma Avatara alone can form their own mini-series. Such is the greatness of these stories.
And, as has been mentioned on the program before, Puja Appaji always stresses the value in learning from everything and everyone we encounter. So, before we move on with today's story, let us look at some of the lessons which it has taught us thus far.
But before we do so, may the goddess of learning guide our thoughts. May that goddess of speech guide our words. May Goddess Saraswati shower her blessings upon all as we join in worshipping her. Please open the Bhajan Mala app or website once again, enter Bhajan ID number 514 and join in worshipping this Divine Mother.
वरदे मां वरतु दे दे शारदे वरदे मां वरतु दे दे अक्षररूपिणि ज्ञानदायिनि नादरूपिणि तु ब्रह्माणि शब्दरूप तु शास्त्ररूप तु विद्यादायिनि हे वाणी मंत्ररूपतु तंत्ररूपतु निगमागम घनसाररूपतु मधुरगीततु मंजुभाष्यतु वीणाधारिणि विधिविलासतु हरिहर सुर नर सकलाराधित साधु सज्जनों से कर प्रीत श्वेत वस्त्रधर श्वेत कमल पर बैठी माता पाप दूर कर बुद्धिनाशिनी कामितदायिनी मंगल रूपिणी क्षीर भवानी मन में डोले हम सवागिनी सच्चिदानंदिनी गीर्वाणी शारदे वरदे मां वर तू दे दे शारदे वरदे मां वर तू दे दे वर तू दे दे वर तू दे दे
One of the Hindi bhajan compositions of Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji that epitomizes his penchant for delivering Vedanta in the form of song. What a gem of a bhajan! You are tuned in to Datta Arpanam. Thank you for joining us for today's offering, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through the grace of Pujya Shri Swamiji, and thanks to the sponsorship by Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited and Kokie Supermart Limited.
A little while ago, you heard that when the demons attacked the Devatas, all yagas, yajnas and rituals came to a halt. This reminds us of a lesson learnt just recently on Datta Arpanam. Demons do not have to have 10 heads or sinister laughs. Demons can take the form of even our own thoughts.
That's right. Pujya Appaji has said on the free app SGS Post that we should engage in good actions while health and resources permit, and we should act on a good thought before it loses strength. Listeners, the battle between the Devatas and the demons, like the battle at Kurukshetra about which you heard last week, these battles are symbolic of the battle between good and evil, a battle which is constantly ongoing within us. The good is our good deeds and our good thoughts. The bad is our negative thoughts, the hindrances which try to stop us from doing good. Hindrances like doubt or even laziness and gluttony, both of which lead to ill health, miserliness, etc. Be vigilant. Keep your thoughts, words, and actions pure. And if you are having a hard time doing that, just open the SGS Post app. It is free. It will quote you with good words in the form of short memes shared by Pujya Appaji. There is no doubt about it. If you read SGS Post daily, you will gain strength in overcoming all inner demons.
The Devatas and the saints were dear to the Lord. Earn that title, everyone. Follow the example set by the Devatas and the Maharishis. In Shloka 13 of chapter 12 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said, Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna eva cha. He completed the thought in Shloka 14 with the words, Yo madbhakta same priyaha. Here the Lord says that devotees who are free from malice towards all living beings, and those who are friendly and compassionate, those devotees, said Sri Krishna, are very dear to me.
Listeners, the Lord Himself is giving us a very, very easy recipe to earn His grace. Just be a good, kind-hearted, compassionate person. Show kindness not only to your family members and loved ones, but to everyone and to all beings. Every single being you encounter is another manifestation of the Lord. So how can we harbor any ill will towards another being? We may not understand someone's ways. We may not even agree with their ways. And there's nothing wrong with distancing yourself from those who are following an adharmic or unrighteous path. But that does not mean that one should be mean to them or harbor ill will or hate towards them. Let your righteousness define you. Do not let someone else's unrighteousness define you. Then the words of Sri Krishna will definitely ring true. Yo madbhakta same priyaha.
And when this happens, think of how easy it would be to go to God when you are faced with a problem. When a child feels loved and close to his parent, is it not easy for him to go to his parent when something is troubling him? But for the child who does not have that close relationship, they can feel quite isolated, quite alone. Foster that closeness with God, with Guru. Embody the traits which are dear to Him. Follow His instruction. He has shown you to the water, now it is up to you to drink it.
As Appaji has said again on SGS posts, the greatest merit of Sadguru's relationship is the power to withstand difficulties. Lord Brahma referred to Lord Vishnu as the Guru of all of creation. Now the Devatas are seeking help from such a Guru. Of course He will help them, just as He will help you. But you must also help yourself. Work towards your own upliftment. If you take one step, He will take 100 or 1,000 even. That is how compassionate He is. He is giving you the steps to attain liberation in this life itself. Do not waste such valuable lessons and such a valuable opportunity.
But if we hope to attain moksha, as Goswami Tulsidasa said, anything is possible, but realization without singing the Lord's glory is impossible.
So everyone, let us work towards our own upliftment. You heard that Lord Vishnu told the Devatas to shed all and any laziness and put their full effort into churning the ocean. I will help you in your efforts, the Lord said. Then in His incarnation as Sri Krishna, He said in Bhagavad Gita, but this time in Shloka 5 of chapter 6, Uddharedat manatmanam. Uplift yourself by yourself. So everyone, let us do just that. Please join Pooja Appaji in worshipping Lord Datta. You can find the lyrics to this next bhajan by entering bhajan ID number 275 on the Bhajan Mala app or website. This mesmerizing plea to Lord Datta says, O Datta, the ascetic who has renounced all worldly attachments and connections, protect us. Destroy all our infatuations and temptations. Destroy our delusions and bless us. Grant us the transmission of energy through your gaze. More and more we need termination of our worldly acts. Grant us the forbearance to bear the results of our actions that bind us. Enable us the association of righteous people. Let us be inspired and immersed in truth, knowledge and bliss.
Once again everyone, the bhajan ID number is 275.
Datta Sri Guru Datta Jai Guru 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 Datta Sri Guru Datta Dattavadhuta Swami Kavave Chitta Vimoha Dvamsamu Cheyave Dattavadhuta Swami Kavave Chitta Vimoha Dvamsamu Cheyave Ashrita Moha Kshayakar Kavave Supuna Shakti Patamu Cheyave Ashrita Moha Kshayakar Kavave Supuna Shakti Patamu Cheyave Dattaya Namo 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 Dattavadhuta Swami Kavave Chitta Vimoha Dvamsamu Cheyave Kshayamidhi Kavale Kavale Karmala Norchedi Dhirataniyave Karma Kshayamidhi Kavale Kavale Karmala Norchedi Dhirataniyave Jaya Guru Datta Sri Guru Datta Sri Guru Datta Jaya Guru Datta Dram Dram Dattaya Namo 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 दत्ताय नमः ॐ दत्तावधूत स्वामी काववे चित्तविमोह ध्वंसमुचेयवे दत्तावधूत स्वामी काववे चित्तविमोह ध्वंसमुचेयवे सज्जन संगति पूरिचि काववे सच्चिदानंद स्फूर्तिनि चूपवे सज्जन संगति पूरिचि काववे सच्चिदानंद स्फूर्तिनि चूपवे जय गुरुदत्ता श्री गुरुदत्ता श्री गुरुदत्ता जय गुरुदत्ता द्रां द्रां दत्ताय नमः ॐ जय गुरुदत्ता श्री गुरुदत्ता 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 जय गुरुदत्ता श्री गुरुदत्ता
The bhajans of Paramapujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji. Bhajans like that one, they connect mortal man to the Supreme Divinity. They are just one of the many ropes which Sadguru uses to ensure that we remain tethered to the Lord. How blessed we all are to be the recipients of such gifts.
Indeed. You are listening to Datta Arpanam on 103.1 FM. Today's program is coming to you through the grace of Pujya Sri Swamiji and thanks to the sponsorship by Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Daybase Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited and Kokay Supermart Limited. Special thanks go out to them as they do to you, dear listener, for sharing this Sunday morning Sandhya hour with us.
Today, the introduction to the story of the churning of the ocean was shared. It was just an introduction, but already valuable lessons have been learned. One lesson definitely learned is the value of cooperation in getting a goal accomplished. The demons and devatas were very different, but to obtain the nectar, they had to work together. And while doing so, it was important that the devatas did not lose sight of their goal.
Lord Vishnu warned the devatas that many objects would emerge from the ocean during the churning. They were not to be greedy with regards to keeping these objects. And with that instruction, the Lord taught us to not only keep our eyes on the goal and not get distracted by all that glitters. In other words, do not get distracted by worldly objects. But he also taught us that sometimes to achieve what we want, we must be willing to sacrifice, to give up attachment to something else our hearts may desire.
Sadly, it is quite commonplace to hear of squabbles for property in Trinidad. But what always confuses me about this is whenever I hear of such squabbles, the parties involved usually have somewhere to live already. The land for which they are fighting was bought with a relative's money, not theirs. For the sake of procuring the land for themselves, enmity breaks out within a family. Listeners, here in this story, the Lord is teaching us the importance of peace. He is teaching us the importance of keeping our eyes on the prizes that really matter. When we die, does the house come with us? Does the land come with us? They do not. So why sacrifice peace and good family relations for the sake of obtaining something that, in the grand scheme of things, is only a temporary acquisition, serving you only during this lifetime?
And this does not mean that you should not try to do the best you can at securing a comfortable life for your family. But it means do not lose sight of the true reason we are here, the true goal of this human birth. That goal is to realize God, to realize Him as the self within you.
And just like churning the ocean was the way to procure the nectar of immortality, so too singing the praises of God is the surest way to self-realization or moksha in this age of Kali. So everyone, open your hearts to the Lord. Open your voices to sing His praises and join Pooja Appaji in today's next bhajan, the lyrics to which you can find by entering bhajan ID number 884 on the Bhajan Mala app or website.
கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா கோவிந்த ராமா ராமா கோவிந்த ராமா கோபால ராமா மாதவ ராமா எங்கள் ரகுகூல ராமா கோவிந்த ராமா கோபால ராமா மாதவ ராமா எங்கள் ரகுகூல ஹரே கோவிந்த ராதே கோபால ராதே மாதவ ராதே எங்கள் பிருந்தாவன் ராதே கோவிந்த ராதே கோபால ராதே மாதவ ராதே எங்கள் பிருந்தாவன ராதே கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா கோவிந்த சீதா சீதா கோவிந்த சீதா கோபால சீதா மாதவ சீதா எங்கள் ரகுகூல சீதா கோவிந்த சீதா கோபால சீதா மாதவ சீதா எங்கள் ரகுகூல சீதா கோவிந்த கோபி கோபால கோபி மாதவ கோபி எங்கள் யாதவ கோபி கோவிந்த கோபி கோபால கோபி மாதவ கோபி எங்கள் யாதவ கோபி கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா ருக்குமா 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 கோவிந்தா ருக்குமா கோபால ருக்குமா மாதவ ருக்குமா எங்கள் யாதவ ருக்குமா
கோவிந்த ருக்குமா கோபால ருக்குமா மாதவ ருக்குமா எங்கள் யாதவ ருக்குமா
கோவிந்த குரு கோபால குரு கோவிந்த குரு கோபால குரு மாதவ குரு எங்கள் யாதவ குரு
மாதவ குரு எங்கள் யாதவ குரு கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா
கோவிந்த தத்தா கோபால தத்தா
கோவிந்த தத்தா கோபால தத்தா
மாதவ தத்தா எங்கள் ஆத்ரேய தத்தா மாதவ தத்தா எங்கள் ஆத்ரேய தத்தாரே கோவிந்தானந்தா கோபாலநந்தா மாதவானந்தா எங்கள் சச்சிதானந்தா
கோவிந்தானந்தா கோபாலநந்தா மாதவானந்தா எங்கள் சச்சிதானந்தா கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கோவிந்தானந்தா கோபாலானந்தா கோவிந்தானந்தா கோபாலானந்தா மாதவானந்தா எங்கள் சச்சிதானந்தா மாதவானந்தா எங்கள் சச்சிதானந்தா கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா கோவிந்த கண்ணா கோபால கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா மாதவ கண்ணா எங்கள் யாதவ கண்ணா
May that delightful bhajan put a pep in your step, a smile on your face, and a warm glow in your heart as it rings through your mind again and again in the coming week. May its repetition bring you closer to the one being honored with those words and music, and may it bring you closer to the one who composed and sang that beautiful bhajan. Thank you for tuning in to Datta Arpanam today. At this stage, we begin to wrap up today's program.
Pranams and gratitude are offered at the divine feet of beloved Sadguru Deva, Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji and Pujya Shri 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 Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swamiji, without whose teachings, compassion, love, guidance and music, this program would not exist.
Pranams to you, Puja Appaji and Sri Bala Swamiji. Kindly forgive any errors which may have been committed in preparing or in sharing today's episode of Datta Arpanam, and please guide us to avoid such errors in the future.
Special thanks are extended to the staff at 103.1 FM and to the sponsors of Datta Arpanam: Samtran Insurance Brokers Limited, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. And of course, dear listener, an extra special thank you is extended to you for sharing your Sunday morning with us.
Remember, if you would like to listen to today's offering again, the podcast will be uploaded to 103.1 FM's website by tomorrow evening. Simply visit www.103fm.tt, click on Podcasts, and scroll down to Datta Arpanam. Alternatively, you can also access the link via the Datta Arpanam Facebook page.
Once again, everyone, thank you for tuning in today. You are invited to please tune in to 103.1 FM again next Sunday at 6 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time for another episode of Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music, and teachings of His Holiness Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji.
Jai Guru Datta.
Shri Guru Datta. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
प्रकाशवन्ति प्रभाववन्ति प्रभाववन्ति शिवचरितानि सदा वद प्रकाशवन्ति प्रभाववन्ति प्रकाशवन्ति प्रभाववन्ति शिवचरितानि सदा वद शिवचरितानि सदा वद शिवचरितानि सदा वद शिवचरितानि सदा वद विलोकनेन मनोभवम् विलोकनेन मनोभवम् समदगदुग्रो प्रतिपतिम् समदगदुग्रो प्रतिपतिम् समदगदुग्रो विशोगण द्रुतो जवात् विशोगण द्रुतो जवात् जलधि प्रमन्त कृपाबलात् जलधि प्रमन्त कृपाबलात् जलधि प्रमन्त कृपाबलात् जलधि प्रमन्त कृपाबलात् प्रकाशवन्ति प्रभाववन्ति शिवचरितानि सदा वद प्रकाशवन्ति प्रभाववन्ति शिवचरितानि सदा वद प्रकाशवन्ति प्रभाववन्ति शिवचरितानि सदा वद गिरीन्द्रशीर्षे वसत् स्वयं गिरीन्द्रशीर्षे वसत् स्वयं गिरिवरपुत्रं विमोहयं गिरिवरपुत्रीं विमोहयन् सच्चिदानन्दं प्रवर्धयन् सच्चिदानन्दं प्रवर्धयन् प्रकाशवन्ति प्रभाववन्ति
शिवचरितानि सदा वदा
प्रकाशवन्ति प्रभाववन्ति शिवचरितानि सदा वदा शिवचरितानि सदा वदा शिवचरितानि सदा वदा सदा वदा श्रीगणेशाय नमः श्रीसरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीपादवल्लभ नरसिंह सरस्वती श्रीगुरुदत्तात्रेयाय नमः दत्तात्रेयं महात्मानं वरदं भक्तवत्सलं प्रपन्नार्तिहरं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु दीनबन्धुं कृपासिन्धुं सर्वकारणकारणं सर्वरक्षाकरं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु शरणागतदीनार्थ परित्राणपरायणं नारायणं विभुं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु सर्वानर्थहरं देवं सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गलं सर्वक्लेशहरं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु ब्रह्मण्यं धर्मतत्त्वज्ञं भक्तकीर्तिविवर्धनं भक्ताभीष्टप्रदं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु शोषणं पापपङ्कस्य दीपनं ज्ञानतेजसः तापप्रशमनं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु सर्वरोगप्रशमनं सर्वपीडानिवारणं विपदुद्धरणं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु जन्म संसारबन्धघ्नं स्वरूपानन्ददायकं निःश्रेयसपदं वन्दे स्मर्तृगामी सनोवतु जयलाभयशक्काम धातुर्दत्तस्य यस्तवं भोगमोक्षप्रदस्येमं प्रपठेत् सकृती भवेत् श्रीगणेशाय नमः श्रीसरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीपादवल्लभ नरसिंह सरस्वती श्रीगुरुदत्तात्रेयाय नमः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत्